we go. Here we go. Yeah, you had this coming, Morgan. Haha. Yeah, that'll teach you for squashing the tag team division by yourself. Killing a good tag team like Generation Me. Yeah, you had that coming, you dick. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Joe. That was awesome. Yeah. You had that coming, Morgan. Boy, he's really selling that thing. What? What? What the hell? What's going on? Oh no, is that the Feaster? Oh no. Are you fucking kidding me? No. No. No, they wouldn't be. TNA, they wouldn't be stupid enough to do this. I mean, no. These guys, their combined age is like 150. No, they couldn't. They couldn't possibly be stupid enough to do this. Oh no. 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 Okay, the tag title situation. Did they need to get the tag titles off of Matt Morgan? Yeah. To continue to have the tag team division buried by Morgan one team at a time was just not a good idea, so that needed to happen. But you have a whole roster full of great teams, any one of which would make fine champions. Motor City Machine Guns, Generation Me, Beer Money, maybe LAX in a few months. And out of all the teams that you could have picked, you decide to give the belts to the one team on your roster that does not deserve them. Hall and Nash in 2010? Seriously? Are you people retarded? At least you had the good sense to only have Nash pin Morgan after he was destroyed by Samoa Joe, but that's not making this any easier to take. What the hell is going on in that writer's room where you can decide to put the tag team titles on two half-crippled senior citizens and think it's a good idea? What the hell did these two has-beens do to deserve a title run? Scott Hall isn't even under contract, for Christ's sake. He's on a pay-per-appearance deal. If Vince McMahon makes him an offer, he could show up on Raw next Monday if he wants to. And you think it's a good idea to give this guy a championship? Okay, I got that out of my system. Sorry, I checked out for a minute there. I had to go put on this long sleeve shirt. No particular reason, you know, it's just kind of cold in here. Anyway, I need to talk about this ranking system bullshit. Because if TNA are going to make such a big deal about having a ranking system for the heavyweights, if they want the fans to actually take it even remotely seriously, then they have to at least try to make it plausible. In the opening segment of this show, Eric Bischoff said that Jeff Hardy was a very big name, a very prominent figure in the fan votes on this poll, so he was being given a match with Rob Van Dam that night. There's just one small problem with this. When Bischoff said that Hardy was a prominent figure in the fan votes, that was a fucking lie. Before this show went on the air, Desmond Wolfe was in the lead in the poll again with a whopping 50% of the votes. Matt Morgan was in second place with 34% of the votes. The closest runner-up after that was Ken Anderson with 5%. And Jeff Hardy, he had 3%. 3% of the votes. Now, I know this show was taped a while ago and they couldn't have known what the results of this thing were going to be, but that just means that the whole execution of this fan voting concept is inherently flawed. And if they're just going to be giving away title shots to whoever the hell they want, whenever they want anyway, so a guy with 3% of the votes can get a match with the champion instead of somebody who has over 10 times that many votes, then this entire ranking system is bullshit. I mean, you'd think they'd at least be smart enough to not make the results of the poll available to everyone so the fans wouldn't know they were being lied to like this, but no, they don't care apparently. And I thought it was hilarious when the announcers were saying that the Hogan-Bischoff regime is acting on these votes and giving the fans what they want. No, they're not. If they were, they wouldn't have put Jeff Hardy in a match with Van Dam because no one voted for Jeff Hardy. They should have given the shot to Matt Morgan since he was number 2 in the poll and the guy who was number 1 already had a shot last week, but Morgan was already involved in a storyline that night, so they couldn't have predicted that he would be so far ahead in the polls because the show was taped before the results came in. So basically, this whole ranking system is fucked. And even after you get past that mess, there was still a lot wrong with this show. Okay, the writers are pushing Tara harder than ever, even though she's leaving the company after Sacrifice. And for some insane reason, they apparently thought it was a good idea for her to bury Taylor Wilde and Sarita in separate matches on her way out the door. And why? Beats the hell out of me. I don't have a damn clue. And customarily, it's smart booking to have the person who's about to leave put some people over before they leave. That's the beauty of it. They don't have to be protected anymore because, you know, they're leaving. But no, they'd rather have Tara bury all these people instead. And while you're trying to wrap your brain around that one, I got another head scratcher for you. In the opening segment, they set up a main event match of Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles. The announcers hyped this up as a huge match with 3 of the biggest stars in the industry, which in any sane and logical universe it would be. But here, the TNA writers thought it would be a good idea to have this match go for less than 6 minutes and end at 10:44, 16 minutes before the show went off the air. It's so goddamn frustrating how often TNA does this. They advertise something and then they change it or they piss on it so it doesn't turn out at all like they led the fans to believe it would. And that is so damn stupid on their part. I don't think I need to explain to any of you what's going to happen if fans become conditioned to think that TNA does not deliver what they advertise. The rest of the show was more the same, a bunch of blink and you miss it matches that were too short to mean anything or be any good. The Four Corners tag team match was good, but the fact that the tag title match at Sacrifice is the band versus Inc. when Beer Money and the Motor City Machine Guns are the ones who have the DVD coming out pretty soon is so idiotic. There are no words in the English language to properly describe how idiotic it is. Once again, I refuse to watch the Orlando Jordan crap, but from the recap I read, he's still getting virtually no heat whatsoever, and this feud with Rob Terry is dead in the water. Gee, there's a shock. Anyway, Sacrifice is this Sunday. I am not going to order this pay-per-view, and frankly, I don't think a lot of people are. There's a couple of good matches on the card, but there's also a lot of crap. I'm sure as hell not paying money to order a pay-per-view that has Orlando Jordan, Rob Terry, and the band on it. And I don't even care about the main event that much, to be honest with you. Let me ask you guys a question. After you saw AJ versus Van Dam for free on iMPACT, after you saw AJ versus Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy for free on iMPACT, are you going to pay your money to see AJ versus Van Dam a third time when you've already seen it twice for free in the last month? I'm not. And that's all I'm going to say here about Sacrifice. But if you want to hear my thoughts about this card in depth, go to the blog, Read my new editorial, Previewing Sacrifice. I go through the whole card and analyze each match in detail, and I pulled no punches on this fucking thing. So check that out. It's a great read, and I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. Link is in the description box. And one last thing before I go. QCW Radio is no longer on angrymarks.com. They dropped us due to creative differences, but we're not going away. You can still hear us every week. The night and time may change at some point, but for now, you can listen to QCW Radio every Monday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern exclusively on blogtalkradio.com/QCW Radio. That'll be it for me. See you next week. Over. Out.